Friday Night Rivals takes us to Merton on the campus of Arrowhead High School as the Arrowhead Warhawks play host to the Homestead Highlanders. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into our Friday Night Rival broadcast here at My 24 with Hall of Famer Terry Kelly. John Weiser with you. We've got a great non-conference matchup, the final tune-up before conference play next week. North Shore versus the Classic 8, Homestead and Arrowhead.
Homestead, a very young team for them. Meanwhile, you've got the pick for the Classic 8 crown, Arrowhead. Should be an interesting matchup.
Speaking of the Classic 8, I think there's probably 7 teams that think they can lay claim to a crown in that conference this year.
You know, I think undeniably probably the toughest conference top to bottom in the state.
Arrowhead got off to a nice start last week with a victory over Marquette, although they needed a late touchdown to get there. Homestead, same thing. They picked up a victory 34-14 over Germantown. So these two teams familiar in the preseason and the non-conference and getting together for the third straight year.
Right. I mean, this has been a long-standing rivalry. Goes all the way back when Homestead was a D1 team.
Certainly going to be an interesting ball game tonight. Let's take a look at some of the players we will be focusing on tonight. We'll start first with Homestead, their offensive tandem. Tommy O'Hagan at quarterback, Will Van Lanen at wide receiver.
Now, Will Van Lanen, kind of an H-back. He's all over the place, running back, wide receiver. Tommy O'Hagan had an unbelievable debut last week, 7 of 9, 2 touchdown passes.
On the defense for the Highlanders, a pair of seniors.
Well, Griffin Bowers is a 3-year starter, excellent defensive back, and Deed Capper is a 2-year starter for them at linebacker, defensive end, excuse me.
When we talk about Arrowhead, we talk about their offensive line, so it's no surprise a pair of seniors being featured there.
If we look back at all the years we've been doing this, I don't know if we've ever featured 2 offensive linemen as the offensive guys to watch, but Garrett Sexton, Derek Jensen both have top 5 commitments, regarded as some of the best offensive linemen in the country.
Let's talk defense for the Warhawks, their linebacker and defensive backfield.
Ty Carnell, very, very aggressive linebacker, and then Connor Foley, kind of the heart of that defensive secondary.
We know it's been a hot and humid week this week, so how do the coaches and the teams handle it? Well, Mike McGivern will have both Matt Harris and Drake Zortman in just a moment as we continue from Arrowhead High School. It's the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Planet Fitness.
Welcome back to the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Planet Fitness. I'm Mike McGivern alongside the 2 head coaches tonight's game, Drake Zortman with Homestead, Matt Harris from Arrowhead. Matt, let's start with you. Tough game against Milwaukee Marquette. Both schools 1-0, which is great. How do you feel about your team after the first week?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough game. Marquette is much improved from the previous years, and they gave us all we could handle. And it was great learning experience for us, but it was a tough battle. So we had to lick our wounds a little bit this week and get ready for another tough game tonight.
Hey, Coach, good win against Germantown for sure. How do you feel about this group?
Well, a great job last week by our guys. We got a lot of newcomers, a lot of new faces, a lot of brand new starters. So to play a rival from right down the street in Germantown and come out with a win was really, really good for us.
You know, guys, I always hear that you learn so much from opening kickoff of week 1 to opening kickoff of week 2 and then 3. Young team, a lot of guys that haven't played varsity before. Tell me about that. Eyes are open a little bit.
Yeah, it's well, I've been saying all summer what we lack in experience we'll replace with a lot of youth. There's no other way to do it for our group right now, so that's what we have. That's what we're working with.
Man, that's a good line right there. I keep using that one. Hey, Coach, coming into the season, a lot of people talking about Arrowhead as a chance in the best conference, I think, in the state. And when you said, look, we had to lick our wounds a little bit, I would think that after week 1 where they found out that people are going to punch them back, practice this week was spirited. Oh,
yeah, for sure. They realize, like, you can read everything online, you can see all the TV stuff, and all the expectations are there. And they realize, like, nothing happens just based on expectations. And, the other teams do practice, and a lot of the teams and most of the teams we play are very well coached. So we got to be ready at all times, and I think their focus was a little bit locked in a little more this week.
Guys, speaking of this week's practice, we don't get a lot of 100-degree days here in Wisconsin. Wondering if you guys changed anything up because of the weather?
Well, I was in the Marines, so we just rode right through it. It didn't matter. So we're sponsored by the Marines tonight, and I figured we'll just act that. No, we pushed it a little later. We went a little later at night. So
yeah, I would have stuck with that first one. How about you, Coach?
Yeah, the one really, really hot day when the heat index was way over, we actually, our AC units and all the gyms and the field house and everything were out at school also. So we went off campus.
Good.
And in an air-conditioned facility. You just got to be smart. Take care and do what's best for the kids. And, we have all the guidance. All the rules are the rules, and
right.
We follow the guidance and do what's best for kids.
Back in the day when I played, they'd say, take an extra salt pill. Thank goodness those days are over. Guys, I'm going to cut you loose. John Weiser and Terry Kelly will get you the call of the game when we get back only on My 24.
All right, gentlemen, you're the chosen captains of your team tonight. We congratulate you on that honor. With that honor is the added responsibility of stressing good sportsmanship out here on the field amongst your teammates and over on the sidelines with your teammates, coaching staffs. Who's going to make the call? Number 10, what is your call going to be? Tails is called. Okay, Miss Bryant, toss it up, and we're going to let it hit the ground. It is a head. Arrowhead, you have won the toss. You guys have your choice to receive, defer to the second half, choose to win a goal, or kick. You guys want to defer. Arrowhead won the toss. They defer to the second half.
Welcome back to Taraska Stadium and Pfeiffer Memorial Field here in Merton, Wisconsin, as we get set for week number 2 of the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Planet Fitness. And we're getting set for our national anthem here tonight. The Warhawk Marching Band going to perform that here tonight. They had the drum line leading the players in tonight and marched into the stadium tonight in full uniform despite the heat. And did a very nice job getting the crowd into this. And now our national anthem.
Of our national anthem, performed by the Marching Warhawks under the direction of Mr. Ryan Meisel and Mr. Jacob Kolancic.
Marching Warhawks with our national anthem here tonight. A big thank you to the Merton first responders and their truck out there. That's, I think, a first for our telecast with that huge flag in the end zone. There you get a look at the Heartland Fire Department and the huge flag that they have in the south end zone here.
Nice touch, nice touch.
Again, a reminder that you can catch this game streaming online. We're online for the entire game here tonight. My24Milwaukee.com is the stream. Let's head down to our coin toss tonight, brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be.
All right, gentlemen, you're the chosen captains of your team tonight. We congratulate you on that honor. With that honor is the added responsibility of stressing good sportsmanship out here in the field amongst your teammates and over on the sidelines with your teammates, coaching staffs. Who's going to make the call? Number 10, what is your call going to be? Tails is called. Okay, Miss Bryant, toss it up, and we're going to let it hit the ground. It is a head. Arrowhead, you have won the toss. You guys have your choice to receive, defer to the second half, choose to win a goal, or kick. You guys want to defer. Arrowhead won the toss. They defer to the second half. Homestead will elect to receive. They will receive at this end. Gentlemen, we do not need to talk to you after halftime.
Coin toss brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be. Evan Wozniak has the ball teed up. Our kickoffs tonight brought to you by Leona Local 113. Kick off your career with Leona Local 113. And we are underway in Merton. This will drift into the end zone for a touchback. The Highlanders will take possession at their own 20-yard line as we get started here tonight. We'll take a look at that young offense, Terry.
Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup. This is one of the youngest offensive lines I've seen Homestead have. They've got 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and only 1 senior starting, going against a very veteran and a very big defensive front for Arrowhead.
There are the starters on offense tonight, and they mentioned Gernert and Ivanchevich, the 2 sophomores on the right side, and a senior, Deed Capper, the left tackle. He'll go and play on defense as well tonight. We'll see how his stamina will hold out here in week number 2. Highlanders in the white jerseys, Arrowhead in the red. And they're going to throw on first down, looking for the sideline. It is incomplete, but a penalty flag down. Luke Patterson was the defender out there. Jonah Wensler was the intended target, the split end, and play number 1 results in a penalty.
Defensive pass interference.
Chad Lansinger is our referee tonight.
Always interesting when you visit practices and you're told by the coaches what they're going to line up in. Hardly ever works out to be the way they've said. So instead of seeing the typical T-bone formation, we open much more of a spread look, a little bit of a pistol, and they're actually going to go with 2 backs in the backfield.
There you look at the starters for Arrowhead on defense. They're missing Brandon Curtin, a top linebacker. He'll be out a couple more weeks with injury. They'll run it this time left side, and some running room there. On a nice carry that time. Hickman on the carry. Brought down by Connor Foley for the Warhawks.
Hickman's first game, is on the varsity really. Ran for over 215 yards last week in 31 attempts, scored 3 touchdowns. Nice debut.
Yeah, big 34-14 victory over Germantown. That Mequon Road rivalry renewed last week. Showing blitz on the outside, second and short. O'Hagan under pressure, and down he goes in the backfield, chased out of the pocket and brought down by Connor Foley. Player we mentioned to keep an eye on here tonight. He gets his act going here early.
He's listed as a strong safety, but in this 4-4 defense, you're going to see him working on the edge. They brought 2 from the outside that time, just didn't have enough people to block.
So a loss back to the 36-yard line will set up a 3rd and 9 for the Highlanders. Connor Foley, part of that really outstanding defense. 6 tackles last week in the victory over Marquette. Picks up a sack here tonight. 3rd and 9 from the near hash. 3 receivers to the left side, and
Flag on the play.
flag thrown before the snap.
Delay of game on Homestead.
5 yards. 3rd down.
5-yard penalty brings up 3rd.
So the drive started on the pass interference, and since then it's been working their way backward now to the 31-yard line, sets up a 3rd and 14. Two receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. O'Hagan rolling. Picks up a block, now has to get rid of it, and will throw it away, incomplete.
Samuel Hagen's pass incomplete.
Got a late block there. He saw the pressure coming from the right side.
Brings up 4th and 14.
So 4th down, and the punting unit coming on for the Highlanders.
When you're standing back there, quarterback and number 23, Jace Gilbert, the defensive end, starts crashing in on you. 6'5", 260 pounds, Iowa State commit, all-conference basketball player. That's an imposing young man coming right at you.
Colton Marriott and Foley are deep. Connor Foley. Sean West, first team all-conference, 40 yards per punt last season. High punt taken at the 25 by Foley. Breaks a tackle at 35, flag down as he takes it out to the 41-yard line. But just as he made his cut back toward the middle of the field, that's where the flag was thrown. Jason Ziegler was there to make the tackle for Homestead. So unlike last week, which really we did not have many calls.
Block in the back on the return team.
So block in the back, the call here, but we did not have many penalties for a week 1 game last week, but here we've had 3 already in the first 2 minutes and change here of this ball game.
Don't know whether it's a little bit of nerves. Everybody's got their expectations. Both teams won their opener. How do you build on that? And so sometimes people get a little anxious.
So the Warhawks will start this drive from their own 18-yard line following the walk-off on the block in the back penalty. Vance Holtz, second team all-conference last season. 6 for 11, 112 yards and a touchdown last week. And I don't think the ball was put in play just yet. Arrowhead trying to catch Homestead. We'll take a look at the offense. Holtz, the quarterback. We mentioned the offensive line. Derek Jensen on the right side going to Wisconsin. Garrick Sexton, a Penn State commit, the left tackle. Throwing on first down. Swings it outside. Made the catch. Across the 25-30 out to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Arrowhead. Jackson Montgomery able to wrap up Harper Hughes, the sophomore, his second catch of the season.
Harper Hughes had a 49-yard touchdown reception in last week's opening game.
First downs tonight brought to you by Best Electric Service. Best Electric Service, connect with the best. We'll hear from the man from Best Electric, Bruce Jenzek, a little bit later on here in the first quarter. This is Sinelli breaking a tackle. Gets it to the 37-yard line before he's finally driven back down. Nate Begonia on there. On the stop that time for Homestead. A gain of about 7. Will bring up second and short here for Arrowhead.
As you watch this evening, Arrowhead's going to be shuffling all kinds of players in and out on offense. They try to get different mismatches against the secondary. They have great depth, and they're going to try to use that to their advantage.
Saw the starters on defense. Griffin Bowers, 3-year starter on that defense. Try and go up the middle. Another flag thrown. So kind of a clunky start here by both teams tonight.
The opening of the quarter, we might have
ball.
surpassed last week's
Houston's
total.
Fraction on the defense. 5 yards. First down.
Ugh. Lining up in the neutral zone will result in a first down here for Arrowhead. And let's head downstairs. Our first visit of the night with Mike McGivern.
Hey, guys, I love listening to the defensive coaches here at Arrowhead. When you're listening to the Billy Hirschfield and Fritz Rauch, man, they know a lot about defense. Very happy with the first possession and how their defense handled the first possession. Talking about energy, keeping that energy up. Any chance to get a chance to listen to Fritz Rauch, man, I'll do it. Back to you, boys.
Mike, thank you. Arrowhead pass that time intended for Cam Carter. Through his hands and nearly picked off by Griffin Bowers out there, the boundary corner.
Should mention Arrowhead's missing an outstanding receiver from a year ago. Kyle Janke tore his ACL during the summer. Not only an outstanding football player, but a tremendous track athlete. Did very well last year's state meet in the hurdles.
Sinelli to midfield. Pickup of 6. Begonia was there again on the stop. There you get a look at Nick Sinelli, 6-foot senior. 17 carries, 126 yards, and a touchdown last week in the win over Marquette. 3rd and 4 from midfield. Vance Holtz changing the play. Keep an eye on the slot receiver to the right side. That's where they'll go. Cut through the middle on a slant, and the catch is made for the first down. Nice pitch, nice grab that time by Colton Harriet. Harriet, the 5'9 senior, brought down by Sam Nemke.
Colton's dad is the head track coach at Arrowhead. Excellent track program. Dad is helping coach, also works with their mass media. Sure, Dad's proud to see that play completed.
From the Homestead 41, they'll swing it near side. Catch is made by Hughes, but he is wrapped up immediately on the play. Sean O'Byrne there. Nice job in coverage that time. Read the play well, broke immediately as the ball was thrown that time.
Well, Vance Holtz, second team all-conference last year as a sophomore. Excellent arm. You can see they're trying to work that outside edge. See if they get a little fake and go on one of these to the outside.
Sinelli tries to pick his way around the right side. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. Highlanders were ready that time. Monty Love, the nose tackle, the 255-pound junior, able to make the stop.
Well, Homestead knows they're going to have to rely on some shifting and some blitz packages. Their size disadvantage, their lack of depth. 2 of these guys are starting on the defensive line, also start on the offensive line.
3rd and 10 from the Homestead 41. Holtz again going slot, nothing there. In and out of the hands of Harriet that time, but in a crowd. 4 different defenders within the vicinity. Might have been Daquan Malone nearest there, and we've got a Homestead player down. So time has been called here for the injury. Let's head downstairs. Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, Bruce Janicic with Best Electric. Bruce, first and foremost, sorry for your loss. On a personal note, no, we've had a lot of conversations with that. You doing okay?
I'm doing fine. My mom's with my dad. She's in a better place.
Hey, being part of Friday Night Rivals it's really big for us to have you here and giving back to the community. You and I have known each other for 30 years. You've done it for 30 years, so thank you.
44, actually.
Well, I've known you for 30. All right, 44. What the heck? Hey, and congratulations on the being part of the board with Nary. I'm a big fan of Michelle Brown and the people there. It's a really good fit for you.
It is a fit. I love giving back to the community athletically and from my trade group, so it's awesome.
Hey, you still reffing?
Absolutely.
He's teed me up a couple of times, but I still love him. Back to you, boys.
Yeah, you get a little animated there on the bench there, Mr. McGivern.
Might have been a well-deserved technical.
Taryn McCall was the injured player, and good sign there walking off, but what a loss there because he's one of the two-way men up front. He also plays left guard on offense, so at least he is up and walking back to the sideline for the Highlanders.
Well, Arrowhead's got a few options back here. Probably not in this situation, but they have Vance Holtz as their punter, their outstanding quarterback. So you always have to be alert.
Try and kick this one. Drop it inside the 20. Going to come up just short near the 24-yard line. That's where they will mark it out. So we remain scoreless here, each team with a possession. Arrowhead winning the game last year 30-6 over Homestead, but the year before that was a dandy. I think it was 22-21, something like that. Went Homestead's way.
Typically, these are always tight games.
Tommy O'Hagan hands it off. Bentley Hickman, nowhere to go.
Bentley Hickman, the ball carrier. Mason Waterfield on the tackle.
Big wall of red there, led by Mason Waterfield. We'll take another look. It's one of the, I guess, attributes of Arrowhead football. They flow to the football. Everybody up front, the linebacking core, that front seven, they are tuned in. They are right there rallying to the ball.
Well, Fritz Rauch, outstanding defensive coordinator, was with the Homestead program for many years and loves the 4-4, really knows how to teach it.
2nd and 10. In motion is Dominic Bruno. And nothing there, may have lost yardage there.
Trying to run a little option there, it looked like.
Noah Robb was there, the defensive lineman, to make the tackle. Yeah, they're keying right now. I think a little misdirection or something to stem that flow to the ball just a little bit. This is not a situation you want to be in all night. That's 3rd and long against this Arrowhead defense. They'll face a 3rd and 12 from their own 21. Taking a long time in the huddle. Back judge is counting it down. Empty backfield 5 receiver look here for the Highlanders. O'Hagan scrambling left, has some running room, will get to the sideline, short of the first down, near the 28-yard line, chased out of there by Luke Patterson. It'll bring up 4th down for the Highlanders.
One thing Homestead has to do is one of their keys to the game is win the special teams battle. So it's critical that their punt team does a very, very solid job here, not let the field get flipped real quickly.
Sean West on for the 2nd time tonight. Again, Beautiful punt, gets it to turn over. Foley made the fair catch, bobbled it, and fell on it at the 25-yard line. 47-yard punt that time by Mr. West. We will take our break. 4:48 to go here in a scoreless first from Arrowhead High School.
Hey, Steve, we're in a television timeout. Television timeout. Oh, okay.
Two very funny families deliver dinnertime delights every weeknight. Experience the 80s with the Goldbergs at 5, then laugh along with the Baxters on Last Man Standing at 6, right here on My 24. With Mike McGivern and Terry Kelly, John Weiser with you from Arrowhead High School, week number 2 of the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Planet Fitness. Gorgeous night here in Merton, Wisconsin. Student section. Hawaiian night tonight. A little beach attire tonight. Following the punt, Arrowhead takes over at their own 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Warhawks. Sinelli with a hole. Upended near the 30-yard line. Sam Nemke able to make the stop, but not before a big gain by Sinelli. Gain of about 5 on the play. Now we've got an injured Arrowhead player. Garrett Sexton, I believe, will have to come off for at least one play here. He's the Penn State commit on the left tackle. Second and 6. Nice pitch, nice catch that time. Outside, Griffin Bowers able to make the tackle. Able to make that catch. Cam Carter once again.
Well, last year Holtz threw for over 1,700 yards as a sophomore with 23 touchdowns. Feels very comfortable back there.
Another best electric first down for the Warhawks at their own 35-yard line. Showing blitz, the Highlanders, Sinelli coming around the right side, and he'll get a yard, and that's about it. Good flow to the ball that time. Blake Wickman able to get there and make the tackle for a 1-yard gain. Sets up 2nd and 9 from the 36. Under 4 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Holtz looking to the sideline, then checks the play off from his wristband. 2 receivers to his right. Single back is Sinelli. He will get the call, and again met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a short gain. Luka Ivancevic was right there, and now a little extracurricular, and the helmet pops off. So coming out of the ball game for Arrowhead is Evan Boxley. So we get another look. Homestead blitzing from that side on the run blitz that time, able to take Sinelli down. Sets up 3rd and long now for the Warhawks.
Homestead going to be blitzing, stunning all night.
3-man front here on 3rd and long. Holtz on the scramble, breaks away. Holtz across the 40 and brought down from behind, short of the first down by Turin McCall. Back in the lineup, left with an injury on that last drive. Good to see him back out there. Comes up with a nice play on the scramble by Holtz. Let's head right downstairs once again to Mike.
Hey, guys, the defensive staff here at Arrowhead's telling their defensive players, listen, they're not going to just continue to run this. They're going to spread it out. They're going to do some things. Be careful for this. And then they said they don't want to fight us in a phone booth. 2 of the players are like, what does that mean? Man, I know exactly what that means, and I'm not sure Homestead does want to fight them in a phone booth. Back to you, boys.
Isn't that Coach Basham coined that phrase once?
Well, Arrowhead had to have a tough time fitting in a phone booth.
Nice punt here. Takes a perfect Arrowhead roll inside the 20 and will roll dead at the 17-yard line. 41-yard punt on that play. Well, each week we're going to highlight a hit of the game, and that is brought to you by your Milwaukee Admirals. Admirals getting set. Camp opening up in a couple of weeks. Can't wait. I am a hockey guy. I love hockey.
Happen to be a Blackhawk fan, don't you?
Yeah, it hasn't been all that great the last couple years, but Connor Bedard is ready to save the day. Rafi, if you're watching, buddy, they're getting better. 1st and 10 from the 17. Fake the handoff. The quarterback will keep, and trying to get to the edge cannot. O'Hagan on the carry that time, brought down by Connor Foley.
Yeah, if they're going to try to, key on Bentley Hickman, they were trying to find a way to change that up. But Arrowhead stays at home, reads their keys, and is able to stifle that play.
Well, we talked before the game, and we're going to see a little bit more of that, kind of that midline option, if you will.
Yeah, they've got to try to find some ways to get angles because they cannot go man-on-man blocking against this front.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 for Homestead. Low snap. Hickman gets back to the 19-yard line. Jace Gilbert making the stop. Gain of 4 on the play by Hickman. Another look.
Well, we mentioned Gilbert's size and why he is difficult to block, as well as being very agile.
Iowa State be playing on Saturdays in Ames, Iowa, next season. 3rd and long for Homestead. 3-man backfield, low snap. O'Hagan picks it up. And he's going to go down at the 15-yard line. Bad snap, spoiled the play. Tyler Carnell there to make the sack, if you will. The loss of 6 brings up 4th down.
They had snuck Brendan Foley, one of their inside linebackers, up on the outside that last time, brought him on a blitz to put pressure.
That'll end our first quarter here in Merton. A scoreless first quarter. North Shore Conference versus Classic 8. Homestead and Arrowhead. Tonight's Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Planet Fitness. Sean West to punt from his own goal line to open up the second quarter. End over end kick. Foley will take across midfield, breaks a tackle at the 47, cuts back to his right, and brought down at the 40. A nice return by Connor Foley. It was Jack Reed who finally got him to the turf, but Arrowhead their best field position to start a drive here tonight.
We mentioned Foley kind of being the key to that defensive backfield. Excellent athlete. You can see how well he maneuvers trying to return that kick.
Well, let's see what Arrowhead can put together here. Both teams have not been able to move the football all that much here in the early going. Holtz in trouble. Will have to throw it away. And again, that's that new rule put into play in high school football over the year. Jack Reed with the pressure, forcing the throwaway that time by Holtz. Once again, Mike, what do you have?
So, guys, I'm watching them work on Garrett Sexton. He came out for one play and went back in. And then they were trying to tape up part of his arm, and I think it's his elbow. I think he hurt his elbow. And I'm not sure how you tape the elbow, but they did a pretty good job.
All right, Mike, thanks for the update. 2nd down and 10 from the 40. Toss it out far side. Catch is made to the turf with the football. Mac Bong. Check that. Harper Hughes with the catch. Griffin Bowers with the stop.
Hughes only a sophomore, but the coaches have a lot of faith in him. Offensive coordinator Kyle Burlingame thought that they could get some real mismatches against the Homestead defensive secondary.
Burlingame, one-time head coach at Burlington, I believe. Hand it off. Second effort. Going to be close to a first down. Hayden Russ, 16 carries last week, takes his first carry. Sam Nimke able to make the stop, but 4th and short here inside the 35-yard line. We'll see what Arrowhead will do. Appears they will go for it here on 4th down. 4th and 2 from the Homestead 32. Single receivers left and right. They'll run it up the middle, and he didn't get there. A Highlander defense able to stand him up. Monty Love, the nose tackle in there, gummed up the middle. And Homestead will take over on downs.
So far, Homestead is accounting for themselves well. The middle of that Arrowhead offensive line is young for them in a way. They've got Landon Youngbluth at the guard, left guard at 270. Will Wagner, a junior, at 240. Mitch Bilecki is a 290-pound sophomore. And then obviously at both of the tackles, they've got, some of the best linemen in the country. But Homestead reacted well and stuffed that.
So Highlanders take over on their own 32-yard line. Fake to Hickman. O'Hagan lofts one out. Excellent catch across midfield. Beautifully tossed ball. Dominic Bruno making the sliding grab. Great concentration on this play.
Tell me what kind of pattern that was. I bet you can do that. That was the wheel pattern with their halfback out of the backfield up the sideline.
You still see those in your sleep, don't you? All those years?
Homestead has been doing this for years, and they do it well.
Gets the best electric first down for the Highlanders into Arrowhead territory from the Warhawk 47-yard line. Hickman bangs his way to the 45. All this season, our touchdowns will be brought to you by Planet Fitness, the judgment-free zone. Gain of 2 on the play will set up 2nd and long. Homestead trying to feed off the momentum of their defense, able to stop Arrowhead on downs. Went for it on 4th and 2.
Okay, kind of a variation of the T formation. Yep. It's called the Y bone when they do it this way.
And nowhere for O'Hagan to go. Jace Gilbert there on the sack. Yeah, that's that air raid, Y-bone, whatever you want to call it, look. Washington State has run that several times, several years, I should say.
Yeah, Jace Gilbert is a matchup nightmare for offensive linemen.
A loss back to the Highlander 48-yard line brings up 3rd and 15. Single receiver right, 2 receivers left. O'Hagan rolling left. Off his back foot, puts one up. Juggling attempt, can't come down with it. A lot of traffic there. Intended for Jonah Wensler, broken up by Ashton Bauman, the free safety.
Double coverage on that. They had him blanketed.
Beautiful job defending there. Sean West on to punt once again. Averaging better than 40 yards a punt so far tonight. Connor Foley back deep. Foley gets away from it, lets it hit the turf, and it rolls out of bounds inside the 15-yard line, out at the 11. 41-yard kick with that bounce and roll. So Arrowhead backed up inside their own 15-yard line to start this drive with just over 8 minutes to go here in this first half.
Well, Sean West, the kicker, all conference a year ago in the North Shore, has been excellent so far tonight punting. Getting a lot of interest from the Ivy League.
3 receivers to the near side for Arrowhead on 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line. Holtz, screen pass near side. Sinelli out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Gain of about 10 on the screen play to the running back, Sinelli, brought down by Wickman. Get those linemen out there. You had Derek Jensen, the Wisconsin commit, out there leading on that screen.
Yeah, if you're going to be blitzing a lot and you can get that little screen pass, you can make some hay.
Another best electric first down for the Warhawks. Sinelli bottled up in the backfield and thrown down for a loss back at the 20-yard line. Nate Begonia there to make the stop. Another look here. Homestead doing a nice job in the trenches here tonight, particularly the middle of that defense doing an outstanding job. Going toe-to-toe with a little bit bigger, a little bit more athletic offensive line in Arrowhead. 2nd and 12. Holtz flushed, gets rid of it. Throws it incomplete. Jack Reed in there. There's a late flag thrown inside the 15-yard line.
He lost his helmet when he held the kid and suplexed him to the ground. We got holding on the offense, number 1.
Just heard the referee use the term suplex, old wrestling term.
Yes.
Bring that in.
I think we have the second coming of Ben Dreith. He's giving him the business. Of course, Homestead will decline the penalty, take the down, as it was an incomplete pass, so we'll set up 3rd and 12.
Once again, we've seen a wide variety of offensive groupings out of Arrowhead, shuffling people in and out. And Kyle Burlingame is put together a very, very complicated offense that gives them so many options and variations.
3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, single back in the backfield is Sinelli on 3rd and long. Holtz, wheel route, incomplete, penalty markers thrown. It was underthrown, intended here for Harper Hughes. I believe it was Sean O'Byrne who was there. We'll take another look. It was an underthrown ball.
If the defensive back had turned his back rather than just continuing to run into him, would have been okay.
So Hughes drawing the penalty.
That's one of those key plays. You look back and say to yourself, should we have taken the penalty rather than automatically have said they're down? You never know how things are going to play out.
In high school, it's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. So a first down across the 36-yard line now for Arrowhead. Sinelli around the right side. Cuts back to the middle. Lost his footing at midfield. Nemke was there. Actually got the ankle tackle that time. Chopped him down. Nice little cut move there, and that little chop got him to the turf at the Homestead 49. 15-yard pickup, a best electric first down for the Warhawks. 6.5 minutes to go in the half. Scoreless. Arrowhead on the drive here. Again, Sinelli cuts back to the middle. We'll get about 4 to the 45. Jackson Montgomery, the free safety there. Gain of about 4. We'll set up 2nd and 6 here.
That offensive line starting to perhaps wear down Homestead a little bit. They had the same MO last week against Marquette. It was 14-14 at the half, but as they got into the second half, that offensive line started to exert their will.
2 by 2, the receiving core with a single back here on 2nd and 6. Holtz had the man, couldn't gather it in. Cam Carter, the intended target. Griffin Bowers there defensively for Homestead. This season, timeouts called by either team are sponsored by Mental Health America of Wisconsin and Uplift Wisconsin. Here when you need an ear. Third and 6 from the 45. Holtz over the middle, hit as he's thrown, delivers the ball, and a catch made by Colton Harriet. Should have enough for a first down.
Yeah, Vance Holtz, fine job there hanging in there when he knew he was going to have to take the hit.
They spotted just shy of the 41-yard line. So it'll bring up 4th down and inches here. And they'll bring the sticks in from the far side here and take a measurement. Well, he made that catch. It looked like he got the line to gain just across the 41, but
this is going to be very close either way.
So 4th and inches for Arrowhead. Sinelli will be the single back. 2 tight end formation here for Arrowhead. Holtz under center, and a penalty marker flies before the snap.
That actually might have been Homestead getting into the neutral zone.
Second time tonight.
They're each side pointing fingers at the other. It's
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. Result in the penalty will be 5 yards. It'll be first down.
That is a backbreaker as we head downstairs to Mike.
Hey, guys, I'm here with Corey McGovern. He is with Luna Local 113. We're talking about laborers and what you guys do, Corey. You guys are the hard workers of the bunch, man.
Yeah, we're the ones out there building your roads, building your highways, building your bridges. We're out there working on the schools, hospitals, churches. We're also doing demolition, pipeline work, landscape, you name it, we're probably on it.
Man, so proud of the work you guys do.
Yeah, we start out at our apprentices almost $30 an hour, and we got a big play.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, Corey. Touchdown on that play. Hey, thank you so much for sponsoring Friday Night Rival.
Oh, no problem. We enjoy being here. Where else would you want to be on a Friday night?
Yeah, I agree with that. Back to you, boys.
How about that? Harper Hughes with a beautiful play. Not only making a nice catch in traffic, but keeping his balance to the pylon. A Planet Fitness touchdown. Got the nose of the football into the pylon.
Now they've got some excellent young receivers on this Arrowhead team.
So
Cam Carter, Hughes.
second touchdown of the season for Harper Hughes. Brooke Phillips with the extra point, and we have a flag before the kick.
Once again, I think Homestead is in that neutral zone. Yep. Trying to use their speed to get an advantage over that big offensive front.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. Penalties decline. Try for point only.
That's one of those that gets frustrating, I assume, as a defensive coordinator, because you can see where the ball is and where you're lining up, and you're just trying to time that.
Yeah, they didn't do any kind of shift or anything.
No. Extra point by Phillips is up, and it is good. We'll take our break. 7-0. Arrowhead takes the lead here on a beautiful thrown ball to Hughes, and Harper Hughes, keeping his balance, gets it in for our only score thus far. Our Friday Night Rivals from Merton continues on My 24. The show the pros watch is now for everyone. An all-new season of scoops and insights comes to the CW with the premiere of Inside the NFL, Tuesday, September 5th at 7 on CW 18. Harper Hughes with that spectacular catch and run for the touchdown, an 87-yard drive aided by two costly penalties in that drive, a 10-play drive. Our scoring summary brought to you by the Milwaukee Trades Building and Construction Trades Council. Chance for a return here. Van Lanen out across the 25 to the 26-yard line for the Highlanders. Brought down by Ashton Bauman on special teams.
Well, Van Lanen's one of those special athletes you get in your program. A 4.43 GPA. 4 catches last week for 82 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 rushes for 27.
From their own 23-yard line. Struggling to get to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Warhawks, I should say, all over that play. Tanner Hansen, backup defensive end in there now, able to make the stop, the junior. Backs up Mason Waterfield over there on that right side.
We thought one of the keys for Arrowhead for this game was to utilize their size and depth advantage. And I think that's starting to take effect.
Bentley Hickman, the single back. Tommy O'Hagan, the quarterback. Takes the snap under pressure, dumps it off. Has some running room. Hickman breaks it across the 30 out to the 34-yard line, close to a first down. Ashton Bauman again able to make the stop.
That's something Homestead's going to look at needing to exploit a little bit more. A little halfback dump passes, perhaps a screen, some way to negate that pressure that Arrowhead's been putting on him.
Under 4 minutes remaining here in this first half. Arrowhead up 7-0. First and 10 Homestead from their own 34. Hickman up the middle. They're down from behind. 9-yard run. Gilbert there with the bear hug and the tackle.
Now they're giving him the first down on that. He squirted through there.
Nice hole over that right side. That's that young side, if you will, with Luke Gernert and Luka Ivancevic. Pair of sophomores at right guard, right tackle for Homestead.
And a sophomore running the ball.
Yeah. Another best electric first down here for the Highlanders to their own 45. O'Hagan cuts back near side, has a lane. Gets to the near sideline, just short of the sideline and just short of the first down. Finally brought down by Jackson Schultz. But a nice scramble that time by the junior quarterback, Tommy O'Hagan.
Yeah, we mentioned at the outset, Tommy had an excellent first game, 7 for 9, 153 yards, 2 touchdown passes.
Gain of 7 on that scramble, sets up second and short. 2.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Each team with all 3 timeouts remaining. There you get that T formation in the backfield, the old Notre Dame look. Hickman spinning his way toward the line to gain, going to be short near the 46-yard line.
There's a flag, there's a flag, there's a flag.
Penalty marker down at midfield. This time it's an illegal shift against the Highlanders.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5 yards to the previous spot. Second down.
Typically, Homestead likes to run the ball. Last year they passed for 715, but threw for over 2,700 yards. And last week against Germantown, it's kind of more of that same kind of split. They passed for a little over 150, ran for about 300. But against somebody like Arrowhead, it's going to be tough to grind out that kind of yardage.
Penalty moves them back, 2nd and 8 to the 47. That was kind of a slow start last year for Homestead. They really got things going middle of the season into the playoffs with that passing game. Hagen wafts it out, fires side, and it is caught out there. It'll rule it a catch. Nice grab by Daquan Malone. Had a defender draped all over him. Maintained the catch and stayed in bounds. Oh my.
Tough to see that one on the sideline. Homestead sideline was signaling it was a good catch. They were willing to help the official.
It'll go as a best electric first down, out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1:40 to play here in the half. 1st and 10 from the 35, and now Arrowhead will take their first timeout. This timeout sponsored by Mental Health America of Wisconsin and Uplift Wisconsin. Here when you need an ear. Again, this season, when a team gets inside their opponent's 20, they will enter the Bryant and Stratton College Red Zone. Bryant and Stratton College enrolling now for the fall semester.
I'm pretty sure Fritz Rauch is going to be discussing with the charges for him on defense that they need to not let this drive continue. As far as Homestead's concerned, this is the best thing they could have done. Not give the ball right back to Arrowhead, eat clock, and hopefully from their point of view, get a score.
There you saw the team huddled around Drake Zortman, head coach and offensive coordinator for this Highlander team. On the other side, Matt Wolf, longtime defensive coach, defensive coordinator. Both have kids in high school now.
We told them, how's it feel to be getting old? Now that you've got two, each of you has a freshman son on the football team with the freshmen. And Drake said they've kept the freshmen together. They didn't want to bring anybody up this year. Mm-hmm. They don't have many seniors in the program, but they think they're building.
1st and 10 from the Arrowhead 45. Hickman spins at the line of scrimmage for a couple. Tyler Carnell and Brandon Foley both there. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Clock continues to roll here. Approaching 1:20 to go.
See if Homestead goes with a little play action pass. Got a blitz coming again.
They pick it up. Oh, and through the receiver's hands, incomplete. Jonah Wensler had it go through his hands. Makes that catch, takes it inside the 15-yard line. I think it was Luke Patterson might have been there. One more look.
Good job by the defensive back, raking those arms over the receiver. And Wensler, that's a size advantage for him. He's 6'5", 205.
Basketball player. A couple of catches last week in the Homestead victory over Germantown. 3rd and long now, 3rd and 9. O'Hagan scrambling. And he will not get the first down, stopped well shy at the 32-yard line by Brendan Foley again. Foley's had a pretty good half here, 6 tackles on the night so far.
Now the coaches were very high on Foley. We've got two brothers playing there, number 6, his sophomore brother Brendan, and 24, Connor.
This will be a 49-yard field goal.
49-yard field goal.
Back judge is already counting here, and Homestead's going to have to take a timeout. They were short a player on the front, so Drake Zortman going to take a timeout. 16 seconds remaining in the half. Well, coming up in the Wendy's halftime report, we'll highlight this week's West Bend Insurance Scholar Athlete nominee. We'll meet a few of our sponsors, and we'll also take a look at the Carthage College first half highlights. That's all coming up on the Wendy's halftime report.
Well, Sean West a year ago was a first-team all-conference selection as a kicker. He was 29 for 32 on extra points and 5 for 5 on his field goals. Also the backup quarterback.
Yeah. Mentioned he's getting some interest from the Ivy League. Very bright student in the classroom. From 49, near hash mark for West. Van Lanen will hold. Good snap. Plenty of distance. And it is good for Sean West. A 49-yard field goal with plenty to spare puts Homestead on the board.
Well, our opening game last week, Franklin hit a field goal right before the end of the half. So you didn't come down here and fail to get on the board. So I'm sure Homestead pleased with that.
Right down the middle. Sean West, the senior, you see why all conference and working on all state. Have a Homestead player down, so that's the delay here. Like working out a cramp. We mentioned these two teams have tough conference openers. Homestead will be on the road next week to open up North Shore Conference play at Slinger. Meanwhile, Arrowhead opens up conference play against Kettle Moraine.
Kettle Moraine, they certainly graduated 3 or 4 very, very fine players, but they bring back excellent wide receiver, and Slinger is supposed to have some linemen, 2 or 3 different linemen that are getting all kinds of interest.
The addition of the new athletic facility at Nicolay raised the stakes a little bit in that conference as well.
Now, later on this year, we'll be doing the Hartford Slinger game. It's the coaches against cancer game. Big rivalry between those two schools.
Our Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council drive, 9 plays, capped off by the Sean West 49-yard field goal. Iona Local 113 kickoff. West again will drive this one, a low liner. Taken up. Foley bounces it outside. Look out. Ryan Hyman takes it out across the 40-yard line. Will Van Lanen got down there in special teams to make the tackle.
We've seen a number of sophomores appear for Arrowhead. Head coach Matt Harris informed me that those sophomores have never lost a game through youth football, their freshman year. So even though Arrowhead's got a number of very, very fine senior players, they've got a good group coming up.
Arrowhead taking a timeout here with 2 seconds remaining. Got to be ready here. A little hook and lateral, perhaps.
With a 3-0 win against Madison East, Ryan Lucci scored twice, and Alex Berger found the net in the 61st minute. Keith Stouse registered the shutout.
So again, the Warhawks with 2 seconds to play here. From their own 42-yard line, will line up with 3 receivers here to the near side, a single receiver left. See what Kyle Burlingame has in drawn up here with these final 2 seconds. His turn and give to Sinelli. Sinelli wrapped up across midfield and driven to the turf. Helmet came off. Now a late flag thrown by the umpire into that tackle area.
I think we might have a face mask on Homestead and then a roughing penalty on Arrowhead.
We'll take another look here. Spread him out and then run the football. Jack Reed pulled him down. Then as he got up, Sinelli took the helmet off and knocked the Homestead player down in the process. Matt Harris not happy at all with his players right now. If this one's on.
Hold it. Personal foul, face mask on the defense. By rule, we have 1 on time down.
So they will call the face mask penalty. I'm not sure if I... Right there, perhaps the left hand in under the face mask.
But I'm not sure about after the play.
The helmet that came off, Sinelli can't be on the field, I don't think. He needs to be off for one play, so he can't be out there for this play. So it's a 15-yard penalty at the end of the run, added on to the run. An untimed down here for Arrowhead. And they're going to bring Phillips in to attempt a field goal here. This will be a 50-yard attempt for Phillips. And Drake Zortman wants a timeout here. Kind of wants Phillips to kind of think about this for a little bit. I think Matt Wolf is still not convinced that was a face mask call. You see him there in your picture. The chart in his right hand. Going to talk to his defense. Drake Zortman handles all the offensive duties. He can trust Wolfie with that entire defense.
Well, they served as co-head coaches a couple years ago, known each other for a very long time. Now, the first 2 weeks of the season, we've seen some excellent kickers. You think about where that phase of the game has developed in recent years. As more and more of these guys go to specialist camp.
Well, and the development of soccer across the area, I think that is the increase in that participation, as well as you said, the better camps that are out there now for kickers. Well, they take Phillips off the field.
Changed their mind.
Yep, they're going to run a play here. Again, this is an untimed down with the defensive penalty ending the half. Sinelli is back out there. Now, he took his helmet off on the field. Now, I thought he had to leave for a play, but he's out there. As Holtz looks to throw, he's going to heave it up. And nicely done, knocked away by the defense. Just swat it down. Not sure who got a hand on it there for the Highlanders, but they had everybody back. It's a 7-3 ball game through one half here in Merton. Our Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Planet Fitness.
Welcome to the Wendy's Halftime Report. I'm here with Phil Allen. He's a district manager for Bridgman Foods Wendy's. Hey, Phil, thank you so much for your partnership and Wendy's partnership to Friday Night Rivals.
Yeah, as a local Wendy's franchisee, Bridgman Food is proud to support the community and their students.
Yeah, they do a lot of that. Can we talk about the Wendy's app? It's on my phone. It sure makes things easy.
Yeah, the Wendy's app is easy to use. You can pick up your order in person, get it delivered. There's a lot of great offers, and every point you're in gets you free food.
So, Phil, you've been around youth sports for a long time, and the youth sports Frosty program that Wendy's does, again, giving back to the community and these young student athletes is such a big hit.
Yeah, any student athlete 18 and younger can stop in their uniform before practice or after a game and stop in the Wendy's and get a free Frosty.
Man, coaches take full advantage of that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, last thing, a new burger coming to the menu, and you're excited about it.
Yeah, the loaded nacho cheeseburger, it's a game changer. Comes with Milano cheese, queso, tortilla strips on a jalapeno cheddar bun. You got to stop at the Wendy's and try one, Mike.
Hey, last thing, a year last for you. Your son's playing pretty well.
Yeah, senior at Racine Case High School, doing well on the offensive line, defensive line.
Man, go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Back to you, boys.
Mike, thank you. Time now for our West Bend Insurance Scholar Athlete nominees, brought to you by West Bend Insurance. And from Homestead High School tonight, we honor Will Van Lanen. Will competes in football and baseball, carries a 4.426 GPA. He is a 3-year Merit Award recipient, takes multiple AP and honors level courses, and is a member of the National Honor Society. Will was an all-conference honorable mention selection in outfield in baseball and is a 3-year varsity player in football. He has been selected team captain and is a 3-year member of the Homestead leadership team. Coach Zortman refers to Will as a fantastic young man who has top-level character at all times. Well, congratulations to Will Van Lanen, our weekly nominee, and he'll be in the running to receive part of $5,000 in scholarship funds provided by the great folks at West Bend Insurance, the silver lining. Down to the field we go with Mike and our Brighton Stratton College interview.
First-year head coach, Chuck Ruffin. He's a Wisconsin boy, graduated from Chilton, and going to give our kids from the state of Wisconsin a chance to play basketball at the next level. Congratulations. Man, this has been a dream, right?
Hey, appreciate it. And yeah, dream come true. I've been dreaming about this since the day I started playing and coaching. And
Coach, a long way over on the bench from being an assistant coach and looking at where you coached, you've coached with some really good head coaches.
Yeah, no, I've been fortunate to have a lot of really good mentors. My most recent, Drake Diener. You know, you say the name Diener in the state of Wisconsin, everybody knows that name. And Coach Onenson at WLC, and the names are endless. So I've been blessed and grateful for having the opportunity to learn under those guys.
Hey, you went out of state for a little bit. A boy can't come home, can he?
I'm so happy to be back. I mean, even these last couple of years at Marion and now just coming back to Milwaukee. You know, I played AAU with the Milwaukee Spartans back in the day, so this is a dream come true, being back home.
Hey, keep giving our kids a chance to play at the next level. Hey, you told your girlfriend something. If you get a head coaching job, hey, be careful. You're a man of your word.
I'm going to live up to the word. I did tell her, I said that we've been together the last 3 years, and I said, you know, if I get a head coaching job, buy a ring one of these days. So might have to start a GoFundMe, but anybody that wants to help out, feel free.
Hey, and Drake Zortman's niece, is that it?
Something like
that.
I know Drake pretty well, so he's got his hands full, but looks like they're competing pretty well tonight.
Hey, guys, Brian Stratton made a great decision. First-year head coach. He's going to be great in our community. It's good to see you.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. Support the Bobcats. Come on out.
You got it. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, appreciate it.
Back to you, boys.
Mike, thank you. Our Wendy's halftime report will continue here from Arrowhead High School. Warhawks up 7-3 on My 24.
Where'd you go to high school? Guys, why are you making him do this?
I know, right? And then they record it.
And they're laughing. Come on now. Why?
If I stutter or faint, that's on you guys.
No, he's going to do great.
That's disability right there. I got witnesses.
See how funny he is? He's funny, but you don't want to be funny here. Oh, this is awesome. Your parents got to be so proud of you, Matt. Huh? Don't you think? I mean,
Some days I.
oh, no. You know what? They're going out for a fish fry saying, let me tell you about Adams. Let us tell you about our boy. Were you always a good kid or not?
No. I was
me
a
neither.
trouble kid. I had fun.
Yeah.
The youngest of two brothers, so I just had fun. And
Okay.
so name, how long I've been in.
Yeah, how long you been in the service? For what you do and being here on Friday Night Rivals, surrounded by high school age kids, and it'd be a good decision for kids to at least think about being in the Army. And why is that? And you know what? It's about camaraderie, and we work hard and we protect. That the U.S. Army way, man. Sounds good. You know what we should do is, as we go live, just start walking over by those guys. Watch them run like good. No, we can't. Watch them run like. Welcome back to Tarasca Stadium in Merton. 7-3, Arrowhead on top of Homestead. We head back downstairs. Time now for our United States Army interview with Mike McGivern. Hey, guys, I'm here with Sergeant Adam Fleischhacker. And first of all, young man, thank you so much for your service.
I appreciate that. Thanks for your support.
Hey, so you're a local guy. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Greenfield High School.
You're hustling hawk.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Adam, when you get a chance to talk to somebody who's a junior or senior in high school, and they say to you, hey, Sergeant, why did you join the Army, or why should I consider joining the Army, what do you say?
I say just first of all, just start off with that conversation to just learn about the benefits and the leadership that you can get from joining the military. It's not for everyone, but it offers a great opportunity for most people.
Hey, it's worked out really well for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, I got to tell you, I think your parents are having a fish fry saying, look at our boy. Man, we're so proud of him. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your sponsorship of Friday Night Rivals.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Hey, you did good. You did good. Back to you, boys.
Mike, thank you very much. We're going to step aside, take a moment now, and take a look at some great moments in high school football from across the country. Mitchell with time. Going again, looking for Butler Brown. Over the shoulder grab. Butler Brown inside the 20 to the 10. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Earl, good blocking, sharp blocking for him. This quarterback, he's going to cut back. Oh, beautiful run, C.J. Earl.
With time, over the middle, has a man there. He'll take it in for the touchdown.
Joshua Reese is sacked. John Michael Crudup gets home. And Mount Juliet gets the football back with 1:48 left.
On the scrimmage and walking up on the snap.
Brady back, throws off his back foot. This is going to be intercepted. Picked up by number 10. Stayed on his feet after a missed tackle and will take it to the house. Touchdown.
Four-man rush. McIntyre into heavy coverage and intercepted.
Ronald Jackson back to throw. Looks towards the end zone for Adam. Oh, did he make a catch? He did. Look at that. One-handed catch on the seat of his pants into the end zone for a Western North touchdown.
And that's your best of the week. We got on twice.
Two from last week's game between Franklin and Catholic Memorial.
Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
So, guys, Juan Alvarez, and so good to see him again this week. Journeyman iron worker, apprenticeship instructor. And we talked last week about being an iron worker. I want to talk about the apprenticeship program. Can you talk a little bit about how long that is and how old you got to be to get involved?
You only got to be 18 years old, high school diploma to get involved. Go to ironworkerslocalaid.org. It's a 4-year apprenticeship program. All the schools paid for. So, I mean, you get free education, and you're getting paid while you're going. So it's a pretty good program.
Man, when you're talking to some of these kids at this age, right, high school age kids, what a great benefit to be able to say that. How early on can they get involved in the apprenticeship program?
18 years old.
So 18, and they can walk in and start going through that class and becoming.
Yep, absolutely.
And then after 4 years, man, literally the world is their oyster, right? They can go to work almost anywhere.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, once you finish your training, you can move around.
Man, is that what you did getting out of Bayview?
No, I went in the military for a while. And then
Military, and then this. Yeah. You got to be so proud of the work you do and how much you help these guys and these women.
Yeah, I love it. I've been teaching for about 12 years now. I love it. I love the education part.
I can tell you this, that when I talk to you, I can feel how proud you are and how excited you are to help kids to be able to get in the apprenticeship program, because that's a career. It's not just a job.
Absolutely, it's a career. It's for life.
100%.
Everybody gets in, it almost never gets back out. You do it for the rest of your life.
Man, hey, it's good to see you again.
You too.
All right, have a good night.
Right,
back to you, boys.
Mike, thank you. Our Wendy's halftime report coming to you from Merton tonight. Arrowhead High School with the Warhawks on top of Homestead 7-3. We will step out. More on our Wendy's halftime report when we return here on My 24.
Ain't no big surprise. Just pour me a drink. Oh, my God. Look at who's back. Huh? What's that? The ratings? Well, way up. Way up. Family here?
Yeah, they are.
Where?
So my three boys are over. Three of those are mine.
Yeah.
My wife and I had a fourth boy this summer.
Congratulations. Yeah. We have the boys to stand by us? Hey, boys, let's go. Your boys. Are these the three? Right here?
Yeah, those.
Hey, come on. Somebody right here. Hey, somebody right in the middle. There we go. Perfect.
It's the Wendy's halftime report. Friday night rivals from Merton tonight, 7-3 Arrowhead. And that shot will tell you it's time for our United States Marine Corps interview. Once again, here is Mike.
So, boys, Captain America's back this year. This is Captain America, I'm telling you. Nathan Blackwell, Major Nathan Blackwell, first and foremost, congratulations, you and your wife. 2 months ago, another boy.
Another boy. Boy number 4, that's correct.
Yeah, boy number 4. Hey, thank you so much for sponsoring Friday Night Rivals. Hey, as I asked somebody else in the military, you get a chance to talk to high school age kids. What do you tell them about why it's such a good reason to join the Marines?
Yeah, so most of the time we just talk about habits, good habits. We believe in that. You know, whether they're looking at our organization or another organization, good habits is what's going to make you successful in life.
Man, these so 3 of these are yours. Girl here, thank you for being part of this for sure. These boys are standing like Marines.
That's how we do things in my household.
That's why he's never invited me to his house, that's for sure. Hey, thank you. It's good to see you again.
You too, Mike.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you do for our country.
Thank you.
Boys, back to you.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Beautiful night here in Lake Country, 7-3, Arrowhead on top of Homestead. Let's take a look now at our Carthage College halftime highlights, brought to you by Carthage College. And as you would expect, a low-scoring game, a lot of defensive plays. early on, I thought the front four for Homestead really hung in there.
Well, they were bringing all kinds of blitz packages, stemming, trying to get their speed to help offset the advantage Arrowhead had in size.
Arrowhead's defense able to come to the occasion, and then this play here, that beautiful catch, and then keeping his balance into the end zone for the touchdown. Harper Hughes for the only touchdown of the game. And then the final seconds of our first half, this 49-yard field goal right down Main Street. Made it a 7-3 ball game. Our highlights brought to you by Carthage College in Kenosha. And Greg Huss is with our own Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, I'm here with Greg Huss. He's the Director of Admissions Financial Aid. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Mike.
Hey, when we talk about everything going on at Carthage, the first thing I tell people is if you haven't been on campus, you have to see it. It's a beautiful campus.
Yeah, it's beautiful. If you don't know where it's at, we're right between Milwaukee and Chicago, about an hour from where we're standing now, and we're right on Lake Michigan. So the dormitories, the academic buildings, everything's right on the water.
Hey, when we talked before the game, you said, look, there's a chance that our freshman class might be the biggest freshman class in the history of the school. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and they move in tomorrow, so we're super excited about that. We're 176 years old this year, and this is going to more than likely be our largest freshman class ever in the history of the college.
Hey, Greg, when somebody now is a senior, starting their senior year, and their parents and the kids want to visit Carthage, do they make a phone call? Do they come? What is the procedure on that?
Yes, all the above. So really what you can do is you can either call us at 1-800-351-4058. Our visit coordinator will set up a visit for you. Or you can go right on our website and click on the admissions page and just set up a visit right there online. We do visits Monday through Friday, 4 different times throughout the day. And in the fall, we'll start up some Saturday morning visits as well.
So one of our teammates going to the Hall of Fame, John Weiser, and I'll tell you what, well-deserved, and I'm so excited for him.
I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to give John a shout-out. Congratulations on your induction into the Carthage Athletic Hall of Fame, John. Well-deserved.
Well-deserved. Hey, it's really good to see you again. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Boys, back to you.
Mike, Greg, thank you very much, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Greg. We'll take a break. 7-3, Arrowhead on top of Homestead. Our Friday night rivals in Merton will continue after this. There's a moon about to appear. Look at that.
Maybe their best guy.
That's an awesome evening here as we take a look at the numbers from that first half. And Arrowhead with the difference in yardage, but look at the first downs and the fact neither team turned it over.
We didn't see either team, really assert itself offensively.
Really, that one big play, the big touchdown play by Hughes, the difference in the yardage right there. And as I said, the fact that one of the keys was not turning the ball over tonight. And so far, both teams protecting it well.
Homestead, trying to hang in there the best they can through scheming. And we'll see now in the second half, does Arrowhead's size and depth, start to play a role. We thought it was starting to happen in that second quarter. Didn't materialize.
Kickoffs tonight brought to you by Lyuna Local 113. Kick off your career with Lyuna Local 113. Sean West with that 49-yard field goal late in the second quarter. Does all the place kicking and punting for Homestead. The deep man is Connor Foley for Arrowhead. And our second half underway. And West boots it one hop through the end zone.
When I got here early this evening, West was busy warming up. He was out here all by himself. First of all, visualizing his kicks, not even kicking the ball, and then working on both his punts as well as his place kicks.
Sexton, Youngbluth, Wagner, Balicki, and Jensen, the offensive line for Arrowhead. Vance Holtz at quarterback. Sinelli picking his way, moving the pile, gets 5. Deed Capper. Gotta love that name. Deed Capper there to make the tackle for Homestead.
Yeah, 2-year starter for the Highlanders. Homestead trying to play out of that 3-4 defense, gives them a 5-2 look actually at times. See what Arrowhead's plan is here to attack that.
Single back is Sinelli. 2 receivers to the left on 2nd and 5. Play fake. They'll toss through the hands and incomplete, looking for Colton Harriet on the slant route. Sam Memke was right there in the coverage that time for the Highlanders.
Yeah, Vance Holtz likes those slant patterns as well as those quick passes to the outside. Strong arm.
So 3rd and 4 for Arrowhead. Their own 26-yard line. Sinelli to the right of the quarterback, Holtz. Wants to put it up. Over the middle, coming across and making the catch across the 40 to the 42-yard line. And a Best Electric first down. Mac Bong with the catch. Jackson Montgomery there with the tackle. 15-yard pickup that time. Curled back toward the football.
Yeah, Bong, a junior, had 1 reception last week, and Arrowhead's opening win against Marquette, 21-14.
Speaking of Marquette, what is that score going on with CMH? Coming around the near side. Holtz will take it into Homestead territory. Last we had was, 35-0?
35-0.
So get another look here. Holtz running all the way here on the quarterback draw. Able to take it down to the Homestead 41-yard line. Another Best Electric first down for Arrowhead.
Last year they didn't want to run Holtz. He was the only quarterback they had. They didn't want to take a chance. His backup is actually a freshman this year with whom they have a lot of confidence.
Again, they go back to that slant pattern to Harriet. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Gain of 15 and another Best Electric first down. player down for Homestead on the far side of the field. So time has been called here. We're early in the third. First possession of this second half, and Arrowhead driving inside the 30-yard line of Homestead. Down to the sideline we go, and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I'm here with receiver Kyle Yankee, also big-time track. The only time in my life I could finally beat him in the 100. I know that for, well, maybe not. Who knows? Hey, Kyle, torn ACL. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah? Did you have the surgery?
Oh, yeah, I had it last Thursday, so.
So I was talking to the track coach, and he's hoping. He's hoping and he's praying that maybe you could get back by then. I feel bad. Your senior year, you played wide receiver?
Yeah, I did.
How hard is it being over here?
It kind of sucks, but it's good to see them out there playing, so.
Yeah. Hey, man, good luck with the recovery.
Thank you.
Boys, back to you.
Yeah, we wish the best for Kyle Yankee, and, well, you talked about it in the pregame a little bit, too. We'll mention that here as Sinelli is wrapped up back behind the 30-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. Good job by Blake Wickman again, the inside linebacker for Homestead.
Yeah, you feel just so sad for a guy like Kyle Yankee, outstanding athlete. But, once again, I think we've seen with ACL injuries, the surgeries turn out to be so successful so often. So we just wish him our very best.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 from the 31. 3 receivers left here for Arrowhead. Blitz coming, they pick it up over the middle. Nice grab inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. Only up making that catch once again, Mac Bong. Griffin Bowers there with the stop, and they're in the Bryant and Stratton College red zone. Leaping grab between 2 defenders. 19-yard pickup. The Bryant and Stratton College red zone now for Arrowhead. Opening drive to start this third quarter. Again, they'll run Holtz. He is submarined near the 10-yard line. Good job by Deed Capper once again, working that defensive end.
With an offense like this, you run quarterback power and you just get that offensive line to surge ahead. Yankee Vance Holtz just follows that.
Well, you got Derek Jensen, 6'7", 315. He's headed to Madison next year, play football. And Garrett Sexton on the other side, your left tackle, he's going off to Penn State. Quite a few here in southeast Wisconsin that are going to be playing Penn State football.
Yeah, they've come into Wisconsin and procured the services of 3 or 4 real excellent athletes.
Sinelli inside the 5, down to the 3. A bit of a draw action that time. Take another look. Nice block by Evan Boxley.
Yeah, technically listed as a fullback. He did his job on the outside with a kick-out block that time.
So 1st and goal, Arrowhead at the 3. Sinelli by the hem of the jersey pulled down that time. Taryn McCall able to rope him down back at the 5-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, 2nd and goal from there. McCall has had a nice night, overcoming an injury early on in that first quarter.
Got one of their wide receivers, Daquan Malone, in there now, playing in the defensive backfield.
Man coverage here on the near side on Harper Hughes. And timeout taken by Homestead. This week on the Varsity Blitz High School Sports Radio Show, Mike McGivern will have the head coach from Burlington High School in studio with 3 of his seniors. And we'll also touch base with our good friend Jake Davis, head coach up at Germantown. They'll highlight next week's Friday Night Rivals matchup against Marquette. It'll be Saturday morning from 9 to 11 on the Big 920 AM and your iHeart Radio app. Marquette having quite the night tonight at the expense of CMH.
Understand that Corey Smith, the running back for Catholic Memorial, is out of this game. I think he might have sustained an injury last week. But Marquette saw in their opening game against Arrowhead that they had a team that they felt very, very confident in. So you don't know week to week.
We will see them next week at Germantown. That's turned into quite a rivalry matchup with Marquette.
Last year's game between those two schools was very, very close. Hotly contested.
2nd and goal from the 5 following the Highlander timeout. Now penalty flags down. Again, I believe Homestead may have jumped the neutral zone.
Flag on the play.
3 times tonight on defense they have committed penalties.
Offside, Homestead.
And you really have to credit the Arrowhead offensive line. A lot of times when you see a defensive man start to move, you jump.
Yep.
And they've been very disciplined. One of the things I said would be a key for Arrowhead was be disciplined, not get silly penalties, and play your assignments.
Half the distance will put it inside the 3. Hughes, 2nd effort. Now the pile into the end zone. Touchdown, Arrowhead. Took a while, but Hughes finally got the pile into the end zone for our Planet Fitness touchdown.
I think Arrowhead is going to be flagged for an excessive celebration. See what happens here. Get that much beef pushing forward.
Yeah, you just get behind and move the pile as Hughes did.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. I got to find out how they want it.
Touchdown is good. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Arrowhead.
They'll assess the penalty on the kickoff. I'm going to get on my soapbox for a little bit. Football is an emotional game. Unless it's directed at another player.
Unless something was said. You don't
I got you, but if it was for excessive celebration, I always cringe.
They always talked about the NFL being the no fun league. So.
Extra point by Phillips is up, and it is good. 14-3 Arrowhead. They take the opening kickoff here in this third quarter and march it right down the field, 80 yards. Hughes from 2.5. 3 efforts finally got him in.
Well, it's crucial here that Homestead is able to respond, get a drive, and get the score.
Once again, downstairs we go to Mike McGivern.
Hey, 2 things, John. I agree with you on that. And you're not on a soapbox because I agree with that 100%. Here on the sidelines, Arrowhead's coaching staff feels like they're wearing down the front for Homestead. I think you're going to find them running the ball and continue to wear them down quite a bit as this game goes on. That's the thought here on Arrowhead's sidelines.
Mike, thank you. There's your scoring drive brought to you by Milwaukee Building and Construction's Trades Council. A 12-play, 80-yard drive capped off by the 2-yard run by Vance Holtz, the quarterback.
Well, Arrowhead has demonstrated that they've got a multifaceted offense. They run the ball well, they throw the ball well. And I think people often think of Arrowhead, they like to throw the ball all around the park with their formations, but a year ago, they ran for almost 2,000 yards and passed for just a little over 1,700. So they're another, very balanced offense.
With the penalty, Arrowhead will kick it off from the 25. Our Liona kickoff brought to you by Liona Local 113. So drift to the sideline. Dangerous play there. As Daquan Malone will take it out shy of the 40-yard line. He was close to stepping out of bounds as he made that catch.
Yeah, the ball hung up there for quite a long time.
I think if he let it go, that might have forced them to kick that one off from their own 20. But good field position here for Homestead, and as you said, with 7.5 to go here in the third, chance to respond here.
Right, you know, they really haven't marched down the field so far this evening, so.
Tommy O'Hagan at quarterback. Single receivers left and right. They bust the tee. It's Hickman. No gain. Brendan Foley saw to that, stepped right in the gap and made the play.
I saw him shuffle the one back over to get another blocker at the point of attack. But as Mike just mentioned a couple minutes ago, that size differential playing a role.
Closed captioning tonight brought to you by LifeLock. LifeLock identity theft protection starts here. Officially a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 from the 40. Nothing. Read beautifully by the Arrowhead defense. Connor Foley and Brendan Foley, the Foley brothers, able to make their debut here tonight.
Just watch that Arrowhead defense converge, kind of squeeze that play into the group. The phrase, you know, tackled by a plethora of defenders.
Will bring a smile to Fritz Rock's face, defensive coordinator. Loss of 1, 3rd and 10 for the Highlanders. O'Hagan in trouble, takes it upfield, has some room across midfield. And brought down from behind near the 40-yard line. 21-yard run by O'Hagan. Connor Foley made the tackle. Again, spread him out. Everybody covered. That left the middle of the field open. And Tommy O'Hagan, in his first year as a starting quarterback, used his feet to pick up the best electric first down. From the Arrowhead 40. Low snap. Keep it. O'Hagan, I think, wanted to run a little option there, but because of the low snap, had to keep it himself. It was Jace Gilbert making the tackle.
Timing got, blown apart there. They were trying to run a little of the midline. You leave one of those linemen unblocked, which, allows you to get a double team somewhere else.
Under 5 minutes to go here in the third. Arrowhead taking the opening kickoff to start this second half, 80 yards to open up that 14-3 gap. From the 39, 2nd and 9. Empty backfield. Slings it out far side, completes the pass. Van Lanen will get the first down inside the 30-yard line. Will Van Lanen with his second catch tonight. Connor Foley takes him to the boundary.
They were giving Van Lanen quite a cushion that time, and O'Hagan was able to take advantage of that.
Good play call there. Just inside the 30-yard line. And they'll go with that full house backfield. Break out of it. Blitz coming. O'Hagan gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. This time Brendan Foley takes him down, the younger brother of Connor Foley.
You can see that offense, trying to get an advantage, but Arrowhead's defense keeps their feet, keeps shuffling along that line of scrimmage, stringing the play out.
And Foley beat Connor McGinley, the center. I mean, he just took him completely out of the play. He was going to pull to his left. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Imagine Mr. and Mrs. Foley will feed their boys well tonight.
I think they have a tackle total contest. Who gets the most tackles this season?
Might get a second serving.
From the 30. O'Hagan going for a corner shot. There was contact, no flag. It was intended for Sean West, who is a kicker but also plays wide receiver. Jackson Scholes was in coverage that time for the Warhawks.
And Sean also, as we mentioned, I think a little earlier, is the backup quarterback.
Yeah. Does a little bit of everything.
The proverbial Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, that 49-yard field goal. Boy, that plenty of distance. That would have been good from 55, almost 60 yards. Well, dare we say a key moment in this one. 3rd and 11.
There'll be a blitz for sure. Fritz Rock always does a blitz.
Foley blitzing, high snap. Ball is loose. Foley picks it up. Arrowhead takes over at midfield. Great call, Coach.
Well, no, you understand Fritz Rauch's mindset.
Brendan Foley forces the turnover, recovers the fumble. We'll take a break. Arrowhead gets the ball in Homestead territory, leading 14-3. Our Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Planet Fitness on My 24.
I almost forgot about you and all that excitement of a turnover.
My 24 has the stories that will leave you talking. Spill all the tea with tantalizing tales of Maury, Karamo, Steve Wilkos, and Jerry Springer. That's weekdays starting at 9 on My 24. Turnover sets up Arrowhead at midfield. Not much there. First carry of the night tonight for Hayden Russ. Junior had 16 carries a week ago and a touchdown. Brandon Day now in at nose tackle, able to make the tackle. No gains, 2nd and 10. Late here in the third.
Homestead trying to get a couple of subs in on that defensive line.
Again, Russ tripped up in the backfield, got it back to the line of scrimmage before he's covered up by Griffin Bowers. So Sinelli getting a breather here in this drive.
Well, Coach Matt Wolf, the defensive coordinator, has done a very good job tonight, I think, given how the matchups go, trying to do some things to give his team a chance.
Hayden Russ, the single back, 4 receivers going out here on 3rd and 8. Arrowhead going to change the play. Homestead showing blitz, looking right, throwing on a slant, and it is caught. Diving catch right at the first down line to gain. It'll be a gain of 9 and a first down. Colton Harriet, that quick hitter on the slant.
Yeah, Holtz has made a living off that slant pass this evening. And a number of receivers. They graduated, most of their top receivers and then lost Kyle Yankee. But, they've certainly had a number of young men step up.
1st and 10 from the 41. Going for it all down the near sideline. Incomplete. Harper Hughes, the intended target. Sean O'Byrne there.
Sean O'Byrne is, according to Coach Zortman, the fastest player on the team. Excellent track athlete.
Got his left hand in there to knock it away. Each week we'll highlight the best of the best with the Cousins Subs best play of the game. That might be in consideration. Cousins Subs, we believe in better. 2nd and 10. Play action. Mix up there. He had 2 receivers. Contact was made.
I think that should be offensive pass interference.
Yeah, Cam Carter collided with the safety.
Blocked him.
Yeah. DeQuan Malone knocked him to the turf, and that might be an offensive pass interference.
We have offensive pass interference. Yes.
Offensive pass interference.
One more look here. The block there before the ball got there. Ooh. A decleater, but it doesn't count.
Sometimes they talk about a rub play
on
offense. That was a rub out.
Yeah,
that was a little different.
Slight variation. Yeah. Penalty will move the football back into Arrowhead territory at the Warhawk 44. It'll be 2nd and 25. Again, this drive started with the fumble recovery. Over the middle, leaping attempt, incomplete. Intended for Mac Bong, the junior. Will Van Lanen out there.
Yeah, playing on both sides of the ball this evening and made sure that he didn't make that catch.
He was there, just couldn't wrap both hands on the football. So 3rd and 25. Sinelli back in there now at running back for Arrowhead. 3 receivers to the right. Holtz coming back near side, incomplete. Hughes was the intended target. Broken up by O'Byrne once again.
Now Van Lanen has to go back now and return the punt.
Tell you what, that's a good stop here for Homestead after turning the ball over at midfield. And, of course, the offensive pass interference derailing things here for Arrowhead. But still, you get the stop, you get the ball back with no damage done.
I don't think this would be the point in a game when they would try this, but we've mentioned before, having your quarterback be your punter presents you with a variety of options.
Left foot kick. Van Lanen will let it sail over his head. It will bounce into the end zone. Good decision there for the touchback. Late here in the 3rd, so Homestead will start the drive on their own at 20.
Marquette 35, Catholic Memorial 0. The final score.
Whoa. Just got word Marquette shut out Catholic Memorial tonight.
Well, that,
Wow. That's the last time they started a season 0-2.
0-3 because they lost in the championship
That's
game.
right, three in a row. 3 in a row. Wow. We will see Marquette next week. A very spirited Hilltopper team, I'm sure, when they take on Germantown. Delay a game penalty here. Boy, that's got to be frustrating for Drake Zortman. He's missing a player.
No, they were lined up incorrectly. I think there was some confusion. I think maybe they're going a little deeper into their rotation just because guys are getting worn out.
5 yards will cost him here, make it a 1st and 15. There you see head coach Drake Zortman. Been at this for a long time. Try and run left tackle across the 15 out to maybe the 17 that time by Hickman. Brought down by Tyler Carnell. And a Homestead player shaken up. It is Luke Gernert, the sophomore right guard. So he'll have to leave for at least a play. Looks like Joseph Simon will come in, another sophomore. 6'1", 215 at right guard.
Yeah, 8 of 11, 9 of 11 at times for Homestead on offense are juniors or sophomores.
Second and 13. Single back, 2 receivers to the right. Bubble screen. Read well. Van Lannen with the catch, but nowhere to go. Ashton Bauman was there.
Ashton Bauman, kind of an interesting combination.
Yeah.
Last year as a sophomore, he was a 13-foot, 6-inch pole vaulter. He's also a championship Irish dancer. And if you've seen Irish dance, not only do you have to be well-conditioned, extremely coordinated.
Final seconds of this third quarter. And there was movement here on the left side. Boy, Homestead has shot themselves in the foot tonight with false start and neutral zone penalties.
Yeah, the number of penalties has got to be concerning to Coach Zortman, especially when you've got a tough game with Slinger looming on the horizon.
That is their conference opener next week. They will wind the clock, and that will end our third quarter. Here in Merton, Tarasca Stadium is where we're at. Arrowhead on top by a score of 14-3. Our Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Planet Fitness.
The CW is your new home for
Oh, it's a good night for that. A good night. Probably a good week for that. Some Kona ice, you betcha.
Might be bringing a glacier in from up in the Arctic.
Will work for food. With Mike McGivern, Terry Kelly, John Weiser with you. Fourth quarter action. And will they get the safety here or not? Forward progress stopped just outside the end zone. Noah Rabb there on O'Hagan. And they'll say his forward progress was stopped prior to getting into the end zone. Nice job staying with it that time by the senior Noah Rabb. He wanted the safety.
11-yard loss brings up 4th and 29.
4th and 29.
Sean West, a punt for Homestead.
Yep. Sean West pressing into action here. His heels back against that end line.
Got to be very careful here not to take any step back.
Arrowhead should get good field position here. Connor Foley standing back. And whistle and flags before the play.
Flag on the play.
That's the third delay of game tonight.
Repeat, 4th down.
Wow. So you're already inside the 1, so what does this do half the distance?
Yeah. Well, Coach Sortman was pleased with the effort they had last week against Germantown.
Yeah.
I think as he looks at tonight's game, he's going to say, wait a second. You know, we showed we could compete, but then we were our own worst enemy.
West booms one away from Foley toward the far sideline. It'll bounce short of midfield. That'll be a 48-yard punt to go with a 49-yard field goal earlier tonight.
Yeah, last year, he averaged over 40-yard a punt for the season.
Coming up following our game, stay tuned for the United States Marines Player of the Game presentation brought to you by the Marine Corps. From the Homestead 48-yard line to start this drive. Again, that slant route that has worked to perfection tonight. Colton Harriet able to make the catch. Van Lennon there to make the tackle. But an 8-yard pickup sets up second and short.
I'm sure Coach Burlingame is saying to himself, okay, I'm showing all these slants, but wait till you see the variations I'm going to do off those if you start trying to jump those routes. So he's giving Kettle Moraine some things to think about.
Well, second and short here. Let's see if he looks for the end zone. Instead, it'll be Sinelli. Cuts back up the middle. Will get the first down before he is driven back.
Nick Sinelli, the ball carrier.
Griffin Bowers making the tackle. But a 4-yard pickup and a first down. More importantly, moving the chains and running the clock. Another Best Electric first down from the 36-yard line, showing blitz. Homestead coming. They'll hand it off. Sinelli around the left side. Across the line of scrimmage down to the 33-yard line. Nate Begonia there to make the tackle.
A good number of the Arrowhead players are also on the track team. It's another example of a school that's kind of wedded their football program with the track, and having Coach Chris Harriet, the head track coach, and they honored at halftime the state championship Arrowhead track team. Getting a pipeline between the two sports with excellent athletes who possess speed. Old line, you can't coach speed. Well, you can. If you're a track coach, you find ways.
Well, we talked about it last week. Track and wrestling would be your paired sports if you could. as Holtz will keep it inside the 30 to the 29. Deed Capper. I love that name. Deed Capper with the tackle.
Well, Homestead's still playing hard. You know, you've got to say there are some things here that the Highlanders can build from this game.
Again, Arrowhead taking their time here. Three-man front here for the Highlanders. Sinelli will get the first down to the 25. Tripped up by Brandon Day. Sinelli, who took a breather on that series previously, giving Hayden Russ a chance to carry the ball. Back in there now. And 126 yards and a touchdown a week ago. From the Highlander 25. Again, Vance Holtz inside the 15-yard line. And they have again reached the Bryant and Stratton College red zone midway through this fourth quarter. Just wearing down the Highlanders up front.
Yeah, that quarterback power again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you've got a roster of close to 90 on the varsity and you have the number of athletes that Arrowhead possesses, you know, you're able to really wear your opponent down.
Sinelli, the single back. 1st and 10 from the 14. Sinelli gets the call. Breaks one tackle, gets about a yard. Cole Beisler making the stop. Gain of about 2, sets up 2nd and 8. But again, the clock an enemy here of Homestead as well.
I think important here for the psyche of Homestead is getting a stop. You know, something your coaches can point to and say, okay, you know, you had your backs against the wall, but you're still fighting.
This time it's Rust with the carry inside the 5, down to the 3. Daquan Malone and Griffin Bowers took him down, but it'll be 1st and goal, Arrowhead.
Gain of 9, good for a 1st and goal, Warhawks.
You know, Russ with good size, 5'10", 185 pounds, you know, 61 yards and a touchdown last week. Knocking on the door again here.
Russ stays in there as the running back. Slot receiver to the right. Russ. Down to the 2. Monty Love, I believe, was in there.
Good job.
Approaching 5.5 to play here. Arrowhead looking to put this one away on this drive. Boxley will move to a slot to the right side, or excuse me, to the edge on the right side. Russ will remain in the backfield. Play fake. Good job. Blake Wickman not going to be fooled. Got in there right away, taking down Holtz. Sets up 3rd and goal from the 5.
Played off his block, shuffle to the outside. Another one of those young players for Homestead, a sophomore.
Yeah, we talked about that. What, 9 seniors kind of floating in and out of there? And
14 total in the program, and so coaching staff knew this was a young team.
And Arrowhead will take a timeout. We will take a break as well. 4:21 remaining here at Taraska Stadium. Arrowhead facing a 3rd and goal from the 5 when we return. This is Friday Night Rivals on My 24.
Daily grind wearing you out? Looking for a pick-me-up? My 24 invites you to end your day with a smile thanks to a perfect pair of beloved comedy series.
The tide has turned. Something has weaponized the seas against humanity during the gripping series premiere of The Swarm. That's Tuesday, September 12th at 8 on CW 18. 3rd and goal from the 5. Arrowhead taking that timeout, making sure here. Harriet in a slot to the right side. They'll throw it over the middle. The tight end is there. Kyler Farrow, touchdown, Arrowhead. Slipping through, just a little slide block, and then got behind the linebacker.
Yeah, little fake there. Didn't even ride the fake that long.
Well, that was a complete mismatch there. He had Van Lanen in the coverage there, and that's going to be tough to cover. Phillips on for the extra point. Sinelli will hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 21-3 Arrowhead. Late here in the 4th. Time now to visit with the folks at Cousins Subs.
Hey, we're here at Cousins, and we are so proud that they are a sponsor, Wisconsin-based, locally owned. I'm here with Justin McCoy, Vice President of Marketing. Hey, Justin, I think everybody knows that Cousins has the best subs. I believe that. And you guys have given back to our community so much, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that part of the mission statement with Cousins.
Yes, we were founded in 1972 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and giving back to the communities we call home has always been a part of our ethos. We in 2013 created our Make It Better Foundation, and we give back to the community in 3 different ways: health and wellness, hunger, and youth education.
You know, Justin, I think that people know where they were the first time one of our sports teams wins a championship, when they win a pennant, something like that. I know exactly where I was the first time I had a cheesesteak. Off of Brady on Farwell. That was your second store.
Yeah, that was the second store Bill and Jim opened. If that store were open today, it would be the busiest store in our system. It's no longer there, but it's one of the cornerstones of our brand and how we really exploded on the scene in Milwaukee.
Hey, Justin, we're so proud to have you as a sponsor and a partner with us on Friday Night Rivals. Cousins Subs, because you guys believe that giving back to the community is so important, and that's what Friday Night Rivals is about. So thank you for that.
Thank you for letting us be a part of it.
You bet. Back to you.
Thanks to the fine folks at Cousins Subs. They kept us well fed tonight. Touchback. Homestead ball at their own 20-yard line, trailing 21-3. There's your scoring drive. Little 5-yard touchdown pass to Kyler Farrow from Vance Holtz. Tommy O'Hagan with some work to do. Tosses it to the left side. Jonah Wensler with the catch, the split end, the junior.
Arrowhead still has most of their starting defense in there. I think one of the things you could be saying is, okay, we're trying to make sure we're in top game shape.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Toss. Hickman. Nowhere to go. They have lost a yard. Jace Gilbert making the tackle. Hickman just his second varsity game. Made his debut last week. 31 rushes for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns.
You know what was interesting about that last play? You saw the defensive end, Mason Waterfield, string that play out. Jace Gilbert came all the way over from the other side to make the tackle.
Relentless pursuit. O'Hagan down the near sideline, hand-to-hand combat, dropped incomplete. Intended for Dominic Bruno, second team all-conference, broken up by Jackson Schultz.
Threw a nice ball.
Yes, he did. And Schultz and Bruno were slapping at arms all the way down the field there. 4th down and 4. It looks like Homestead's going to punt. Another nice kick by West. Fair catch signaled for and made at the 31-yard line. 44. And it was Sean West.
He hit it all right.
Yes, he did. From 49, would have been good from 55. Sean West and his 49-yard field goal. That is our hit of the game, brought to you by the Milwaukee Admirals. Russ on the carry. Back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd down and 10. 2.5 to play. Well, Arrowhead's going to head into what is arguably, maybe not arguably, the toughest conference in the state of Wisconsin. They will open up against Kettle Moraine in the Classic 8 opener next week.
Well, Coach Matt Harris said, they're trying to get over that hump. They, Muskego and Mukwonago have been the thorn in their side. They lost 3 games last year by a total of 5 points.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Homestead will travel to Slinger to open up North Shore Conference play. Russ will take it out to the 40, near the 41-yard line, just shy of the first down. Brought down by Wickman. He's had a nice night. 6 tackles on the night by Blake Wickman. Yeah, I think, as you said before, Coach, Homestead needs to go home tonight, look at this film and say not so much what the opponents did tonight, but what we did to ourselves. The mental mistakes, the encroachment penalties, the offside penalties, the delay of game penalties. Got to get that cleaned up.
Yeah, they've got the nucleus of a fine team. They're young, and the experience will serve them well.
Moving the pile forward to get the first down was Holtz, and that will do it. Best Electric first down, and a couple of knees, and they'll go home happy here in Merton.
Into the victory formation.
Takes the knee. And that will do it here. Handshake line down the 50. Matt Harris and the Arrowhead Warhawks will head into Classic 8 play at 2-0. They will take on Kettle Moraine next week. Meanwhile, Homestead will even their record at 1-1. They will travel to Slinger to open up North Shore Conference play next week. Heartland Arrowhead, your winner tonight, 21-3 over the Homestead Highlanders. We will step out, be back with our post game, including our Marine Corps Player of the Game and the presentation of our Champions Trophy when we return here to Merton. This is the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Planet Fitness.
We are not. Give him a trophy, and then, guys, let me get out of here. Wednesday. And then you guys go wild.
You had one last week, or did they postpone it?
And this guy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wisconsin, Penn State.
Arrowhead a winner tonight, 21-3 over Homestead, and they improved to 2-0. Meanwhile, the Highlanders fall to 1-1 on the season. Time now to present our United States Marine Corps Player of the Game award presentation, and it's to number 2, Vance Holtz, and he's downstairs with Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I feel old a lot, but the fact that I coached his dad when he was 13. And I'll tell you what, his dad could hit the ball a mile, but he drove me nuts, just so you know. Hey, congratulations. Really good win for you guys, 2-0. I don't know if you know this, Marquette won 35-0 tonight against Catholic Memorial. I think that gives you an idea on what a quality opponent you guys beat last week. great to have an offensive line like this in front of you for sure.
Absolutely. I got to thank my O-line for sure. You saw them tonight.
I did.
They were great all night.
Hey, I
Great
feel
all night.
like I might be able to get run some behind them. Maybe not. Hey, listen, your receivers went up and got it. You threw for one. You ran for one. We get into league play now against Kettle Moraine. You know, 2 great wins, but now it gets serious.
Yeah, we just got to do all the little things right, like Coach Harris says. Every single week, do the little things right, and the big things will come. We got a big game next week to get prepared for, and we'll be ready for it.
Tell you, starting quarterback in what I think is the best football conference in the state of Wisconsin. I believe that, and that's your huddle. These guys follow you. I'll tell you what, U.S. Marine Player of the Game, he did a great job here. He would look good in this uniform.
Yeah, he sure would. Every battle's won off the backs of everybody there. These guys set conditions for you, and you had the decisive action to bring home the W, so congratulations.
That's awesome. Congratulations, boys. Back to you.
Vance Holtz, junior quarterback, 8 rushes for 39 yards, including a 5-yard touchdown run. This is just some of his work tonight. And also 14 for 24, 192 yards, 34-yard touchdown pass, and the 2-yard toss here late in the fourth. There you see the strength of Holt's 3 effort to get into the end zone. He was involved in every scoring play tonight for the Warhawks. He is our United States Marine Corps Player of the Game. Well, we got a Champions Trophy to award. Matt Harris down there with our own Mike McGivern.
Hey, guys, Coach Harris said, look, I appreciate the trophy. Give it to one of my linemen. No, I'm not giving it. So, I don't want – hey, I saw what they did to your right here, right? 74, well done. Hey, Coach, you got to feel so good about this group. And you said, listen, we've got some seniors that lead us. We got a couple of juniors that can play. But I'll tell you what, as a team, man, we got a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like Vance said before, we just got to focus on ourselves, and that's the most important part. And when we continue to do that, the great things happen. And they're learning that every day. They're learning that every play. All through this season, we're going to keep doing that. Focus on ourselves because that's all we can control.
Coach, I've known you a long time. And, you know, a lot of times you do the Lou Holtz thing. We might be okay. We talked a couple weeks ago, and you said, hey, we got a chance. We got a chance. We got a chance to be pretty good. That's when I knew that the Arrowhead program, Arrowhead team had a chance to be pretty good this year. You feel good about this group.
Yeah, I do, because the seniors, you know, at the beginning of the year, you always try to figure out, like, who you are and what you're going to be. And these seniors, they do it right. They do everything right. They've done everything we've asked of them for 4 years. And I know we're going to meet our potential, and we're going to keep fighting every day to do that.
Coach, you know, conference, it gets real now. Kettle Moraine, good team you got coming up next week. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
You
Appreciate
bet.
it. Let's go.
Boys, back to you.
Arrowhead, the winner tonight, 21-3. We will step out. We'll have a final word, including our Cousin Sub's best play of the game when we return to Tarasca Stadium right after this on My 24. 21-3, Arrowhead over Homestead. And a quick word, Coach, I think the 2 words come to mind. Arrowhead again tonight, athleticism and depth on display here tonight.
Yeah, it certainly was on display. You can see how well those big guys move. You can see the skill players Arrowhead has. Makes it for a very potent combination.
Certainly did it. Homestead, 2.5 quarters, I think, stood in there, but again, they just got wore down.
Yeah, it's, that size differential. You can, stunt. You can do all kinds of things. Coach Wolf was trying to be, very creative, but you can only go so far.
Let's take a look now at tonight's Cousin Subs best play of the game. And here it comes. There's that touchdown pass. Harper Hughes on the receiving end of that, using his athleticism to get into the end zone. 35-yard touchdown pass, able to keep his balance and then dive forward with that nose of the football hitting the pylon. That is our best play of the game, brought to you by Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Big thank you tonight to all of our sponsors who bring you Friday Night Rivals each and every week. Our title sponsors, Gruber Law Offices and Planet Fitness. Our good friends at Best Electric Service, LifeLock, West Bend Insurance, Bryant and Stratton College, Cousin Subs, Uplift, Wisconsin, Wayuna Local 113, Carthage College, Wendy's, the United States Army, the Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council, the Milwaukee Admirals, and the United States Marine Corps. Don't forget, tonight's game will be replayed tomorrow afternoon at 4. Then tune in next Friday as we open up Greater Metro Conference action. The big battle between Marquette, a winner tonight, shutting out Catholic Memorial. They will travel to Germantown, take on G-Town in what has been a rivalry the last couple of years. That'll be a fun game to do.
Should be.
We'll be with you next Friday night. Big thank you to our My24 sports crew here tonight. For Mike McGivern, Terry Kelly, John Weiser, thanks for tuning in tonight to the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Planet Fitness. Have a great evening, everyone.